Hear me. I know you're gonna dig this.
Second to one, and now they got the man trapped at third and tagging out. And second and two, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Hear me. I know you're gonna dig this.
What's up, everybody? It's another Monday, April Fool's Day, and you know, April Fools don't mean nothing to you when you forget there's April Fool's Day. And I'm at work, and little kids trying to trick me into trying to April Fool me about something, and it didn't work. It didn't work at all. Did not work at all. But anyway,
this call may be recorded or
I hope
transcribed.
you guys had a good spring break, had a good Easter. Just make sure that you understand what Easter's all about. I know the kids want to get cake, candy and pickle eggs and crack the eggs open and all that good stuff, but let's realize that the reason for the season, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Real quick, guys. Man, this is Pakistan. It's on mute before. Let's see where we at. I apologize for this, but can't find a mute for it. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on, and realizing that we got the Final Four for the women, and the Final Four for the boys, and looking at the chart, Mo, you're still in it, man. It's you, somebody with DIA, and Dawn Reeves. You guys still in it. So, but Mo, you can't win, right?
That's messed up, man.
That's one of the stipulations that none of us could win. So, I don't know. I just think that North Carolina State, who's had a wonderful season, who's had an absolutely outstanding season. If any team that could represent the ACC, I wouldn't mind it being NC State. Long as it wasn't Duke or North Carolina, I'm happy. I'm so happy. And the thing about it makes me so upset is Houston's best player get hurt, and they lose to Duke. Duke still struggled against them and came out and got blown out. Overrated. Them in North Carolina still overrated. Bottom line. But anyway,
ACC is not overrated.
No, I said North Carolina and Duke are overrated.
I'm not gonna let you bash my ACC brothers, so we end up bashing.
I don't care.
Bash them. You bashed Duke twice in 2 weeks.
I don't care. I don't care. Georgetown ain't in it. Georgetown won't be in it for a while. Georgetown won't be in it for a while because you know how things happen. That's okay though. But we got a title. We got a title.
Carolina and Duke are overrated. Can you explain that? Explain yourself on that.
Can I explain it?
explain it?
The reason why I think
let me go there. Let me go there.
All right, go ahead, Mo.
It's quick.
It's quick.
There's one team left in the NCAA tournament in the ACC, and that team is North Carolina State. It ain't UNC. It ain't Duke because we beat Duke. We beat UNC in the ACC championship. We have done exactly what we did in 74 and 83. We have gone back and ran through everybody in the ACC to make sure we could actually get into the tournament just so we can run through everybody in the tournament. Do I think we're going to win? We got a chance. We still in the top four. We're the worst team in the top four. So why not us? That's been our thing since the ACC tournament. So all y'all UNC and Duke haters, y'all can hate all you want to. Y'all got your butts beat. I ain't gonna say the A word, but you got whipped. You got whipped, and now you're at home. We the only one in the ACC representing. So just talk that trash because you know you want to be like us. And it feels good to say that since we ain't been there since '86 or '84. So I know we ain't been there, but we there now. That's all that matters. You're only as good as your last game. How that feel? How does that feel? You're muted, Kev. If they coming back at me, I
They're
can't.
coming back at me. I can't. Neutral when it comes to rivalries. We hate Duke. We don't hate State. So I don't mind seeing State win. Do I think State's going to win? No. No. That little gravy train is about to go empty. And as far as what they did in 1974 and 81, 82, you probably weren't even born.
83. 83. I
83.
wasn't born in
83. I
74.
wasn't born
I
in
was there in
74.
83.
I was there.
I was there.
I was there.
Became a huge
83.
NC State fan in 83. And then I
Oh
love Spud
man!
Webb.
And I love Spud Webb.
All right, so let's
I've been
welcome
a
to the
fan
board.
since
We
then.
got Dana. We got Dana out there. We got Murray out there. I mean, we got Curry out there. We have Lou, and we got Rich out there. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Hope you guys had a great holiday. Um,
Yeah, he did.
Can
and
we welcome
before we
Matthew to the
Welcome
stage?
Matthew to the stage.
yeah, we got Matthew on stage with us. We thought we was gonna have Dana on here, but I guess Dana T-Mobile ain't working out too well just yet. So we get in there.
I gotta get my internet right, man. I couldn't download something to the
Okay.
email thing. I want to subscribe to people, man. On the business.
Okay. Let's see here. We got Winston, we got me, we got Lou. And I think we got Betty on her somewhere. Betty, you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Daddy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got you. I got you. Okay, I see you now. All right. So we
I need
got
to give
Betty
a
on the
shout out
line.
to
Betty got
Alice
some
Watt
good.
Shout out to Alice
on
Black
Just Us too.
on Just Us too.
Betty got some news coming up shortly. But I want to also to say that we do have baseball season has come upon us again. And surprisingly, there's only two teams that's undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's fool's gold or gold's fool, but you got the New York Yankees who 4-0. They went down to Houston and tattooed them. But now we know that Houston wasn't that good last year at home, but they great on the road, which doesn't make sense to me. But I'm gonna say this right here. Your boy looked real good for the Yankees. Too bad he ain't gonna stay there though. Too bad he ain't gonna.
Don't be trying to hate.
Don't be trying to hate.
I'm just letting you. Hey yo, I'm just
Hate,
telling you.
hate.
I'm just telling you what I'm reading.
NC State in the Final Four.
He stayed in the Final Four.
He gonna ball out
Yankees 4-0.
in LA. He gonna be back.
NC State women in the Final
NC State
Four.
women in the Final Four.
You can't say nothing to hurt me right now, bro.
Nothing to hurt me right now, bro.
I know. So right now in MLB staying in 2024, right now you have the Yankees who's 4-0. They won 4 in a row. They're 4-4. They're 4-0 in the last 10. You got the Baltimore Orioles who's second, 2-1. In the Central Division, you got Detroit Tigers at 3-0, Cleveland Gardens at 3-1. In the West, you got the Texas Rangers 2-1, Seattle 2-2. Houston's 0-4, and the White Sox is 0-4. In the National League, you got Atlanta Braves, who's 3-1, they look really good against the Phillies. And the Phillies are 1-2. In the Central Division, you got the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are 4-0, which we think maybe Mo thinks that they could be somebody. He thinks the Reds are the team in the Central that could come up and do some things. You got the Diamondbacks out west, or 3-1. You got the Dodgers 4-2. The reason why, if you don't know, LA and the Padres played over in Seoul, Korea, so they already played 2 games out there. So that's why they both got six games underneath their belt. Now, we can all talk about our teams if we want to, but what I'm gonna say about the Dodgers, I watched the Dodgers play the Cardinals yesterday, and then the Dodgers should be actually 5-1 to be honest. Yeah, they should be 5-1 actually, because they blew that third game with the Cardinals. But the game yesterday, what I was most impressed with was how they came back on the Cardinals after they looked like they was gonna lose the game. And I think that's what's going to be the factor for the Dodgers, how well they can continue to wear teams down in late innings to end up winning close games. I prefer close games and blowouts because that puts you in a pressure cooker. So you know what it feels like when you get in the playoffs. So hopefully the Dodgers do well. Like I said, they're 4-2 right now. But Juan Soto was doing his thing. I gotta say he's doing his thing. Mo, you're a Yankee fan. You up now? What's going on with the Yankees? What you thinking about the Yankees?
I watched all 4 games.
I watched all 4 games.
I was surprised that we won all 4 games.
We won all 4 games.
Reason being is because those are games we lost last year. Either because of our closer or because our offense wasn't timely. We gave in the first game of the season. Had the bases loaded 3 times. And we hit in the two inning-ending double plays. And then one time we had 2 strikeouts remaining. I just knew this was going to be a bad season. So I'm very excited to see us 4-0. Soto looks like the truth. Judge hasn't even started hitting yet. The bullpen has been lights out. It's going to be crazy. And think about it. We don't even have Garrett Cole right now. So that's going to be like in 2 months. He comes back like June 1st. It's going to be like we did a trade to get a number 1 starter. So I'm looking forward to the season.
I got a question for you about your team. Do you think they can be? The issue is the pitching. Do you think they can be? Do you think they can be consistent during the season with the pitching that they're going to need to sustain to be in front of Baltimore? Because they actually picked the Yankees ahead of Baltimore in the World Series, but then they picked the Baltimore. I think one site had Baltimore winning the division. So do you think they can consistently stay on top of that? Because that, listen to the analysts, they're saying that's the only issue is that they need to be consistent about their pitching. So do you think they can contain the pitching until the bats catch up?
It's going to be hard because without the number 1 starter, you don't have anybody to stop the runs. If we start getting on a losing streak. So that's going to be the hard part. But Marcus Stroman looked like he was the truth. When his 6 innings. We needed him to go 6 because our bullpen was tired. So I think we got good pitching. It all just matters if they can actually stay healthy.
Okay, Matthew, what you got for Seattle Mariners? What's going on with them guys? They're 2-2. What you talking about?
So far with the Mariners, I'm actually happy that we're 2-2. I wasn't expecting us to beat the Red Sox twice, as I thought we were only going to win once in that series. So to see them 2-2 is very good. The current problem with the Mariners right now, it's not the pitching this time around. It's actually catching the ball and throwing it on timing to where we can get those outs. Because based off the last 3 games in that series against Boston, the score has been close. It's just they're trying to get closer to catching that ball on time so that we can be at bat as soon as possible. But for the most part, the team leader for the Mariners right now is Mitch Haniger with a batting average of .286.
Okay. Dana, Atlanta Braves 3-1. What you thinking here? They got the highest run differential right now to any team in the league, other than the Diamondbacks. Can they be consistent? Can they get over the hump and get back to the World Series this year, Dana?
I'm gonna be honest. I hope so, but I didn't watch. I didn't watch no baseball this weekend. I didn't watch no baseball. Being honest.
What did you watch, Dana?
I got UFL. I watched all in the room. Baby, UFL. That's what I did.
Okay. Kerry.
But I will get back on.
Okay, Kerry, your baseball team.
Also, Braves fan, and I'm excited about the Braves because right now their pitching staff is going to carry them. Although they got some good veterans on that team, they still got some youth on that pitching staff. Same with the hitters. They got some good hitters that can drive in runs in the clutch. But it's still early. They've only played just a handful of games. They got 154 games to play, so I'm not gonna get too locked in on it right now because I know things can happen. And I will say this: a good team will lose 54 games, a bad team will win 54 games, and let's switch to that other 54 games and bounce up to that 162. So it's a long season, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Lose a Yankee fan. Do you see anything that Mo might have missed?
No, I have to agree with Mo. I mean, it's way too one loss, and he kind of about practice. Last year, I like what has done so far. He's hitting, and he's become a great acquisition for the Yankees. But it's really too soon to tell. How many guys are going to go? Okay, 4-0 is good, but that's only for the first 14 of the season. I mean, I think teams that got the 8-0 and 10-0, the top part of the season and 2 off in the postseason. So I like how the start's going right now. It's way too soon to go for this season. And you just get hot this team. So I think one challenge.
Okay. Rich, baseball team?
I'm a Red Sox fan, and we are going to be fighting with a couple of teams for dead last this year. We didn't really make any major moves. I don't know what the plan is moving forward, but I think they're going to try to build through the farm system and see what happens a few years down the road.
Okay. Betty.
Yeah.
Who's your baseball team?
I'm a Guardian fan.
Okay, and what you think they're going to do?
I don't know.
Okay.
Actually, I haven't found it here lately.
Okay. All right. Now, what team did you say it was?
We tried. No, the Guardians.
Oh, okay. The Cleveland Guardians. Okay. Yeah, they've been up and down. You know, last year they was winning 2 years ago. And then last year they didn't really they didn't exceed the expectation that everybody thought they would. So being 3-1, I mean, it's like his first 4 games in the season. I think that once they get it together, they should be successful. Did I miss anybody else on the board? Somebody else popped in. I think they popped off. But if they didn't, we're gonna move on. All right, so we got LSU and Iowa playing tonight, right? And I've been telling people for the longest time that girls basketball is more exciting than boys. And it's come to fruition that what I said, it might be true. Because the game tonight with LSU and Iowa could be the most watched college basketball game in the history. Now, there are some there's some tweaks and some caveats to this whole thing with Iowa and LSU. Okay. This is how I vision the WNBA. If they play this right, they'll be good. Caitlin and Reese could be the next Larry Bird and Magic Johnson for the WNBA. If they play this right, if they play it right, they gotta play it right though. They gotta play it right. Right? They gotta play it right. But I looked at the draft and Caitlin's actually go number 1. And Reese should be going to, they're saying, to the Washington Mystics. So they both will be in 2 different conferences that could meet in the championship going forward. But the thing that really bothers me is how and I like LSU basketball team. I just don't like their coach. I just think she's very arrogant. I think she's a very arrogant person. And there were some things that were said about LSU's basketball team in the LA Times, which I really didn't appreciate it. Because the thing about this, we still have to remember that these are still kids. You know, even though they're 18 and 19 years old, and granted, if we have kids now that are 18, 19 years old, they're way mature than what we were at 18 and 19. And I think because of society has put it in a perspective that they're a lot smarter than us. They're willing to speak their mind regardless of the consequences. And we saw that with the George Floyd situation, how the world changed because of George Floyd and how the young people actually stepped up and made a difference in how everybody perceived that situation with George Floyd. Now, my only issue is they called them debutantes, dirty debutantes or something. I can't remember what it was. I couldn't find an article. Dirty debutantes, yeah. Right?
Dirty debutantes.
Yeah, what I felt was disrespectful to those young ladies. They haven't did nothing but want to play basketball. You know, have they made the basketball game a lot more exciting than it usually is? Yeah, they have. But again, I've been telling people that girls basketball is a lot better than boys. Okay. And the reason why I think it is in college is because girls stay, they don't move around like everybody else moves around in boys basketball. The Caitlin and Reese thing has been going on since last year into this year. You have UConn that's doing really good, which is my girls' best. That's the team I root for. And then you have South Carolina, that's there as well. So it's going. So I think it's going to be. These games are going to be really, really good. Okay, and right now I was winning 9-4, 12-4 right now. Caitlin just hit a jump shot, but the thing about it is that I think they deserve what they're getting right now, the accolades that they're getting, the publicity they're getting, because they're making the game of basketball fun. Because again, when you play sports, you should be allowed to say something. You should be able to talk a little trash. You know what I'm saying? We got the point now in the NBA that everybody play AAU together, so they don't want to be mad at each other. They just go out there, they're like, yo, go do your job. If your team wins, you're the better team right now. You know what I'm saying? You need to be mad. And you need to be mad at somebody other than just being mad. No, you need to be mad at the other team because the other team's going to take something away from you that you don't have. They got something, you got something they want, and they got something they want. So let's go on the court and let's figure out and see who wins the game. And that's the part of sports I love because at the end of the day, it's man against man, woman against woman. Big time players make big time plays in big time games, and that's how it should be seen. But for LA Times to say what they said about them, I didn't like that because they're still kids. You know, talk about the coach. All you want to, that's fine and dandy. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the coach. I think she's very arrogant. But again, that's the coach. I can say that to the coach. I can say that about the coach. But you won't never see me say. You'll never hear me talk negative about those young ladies while they're in college. Now, when they get to WNBA, that's gonna be a whole different story. So anybody has
they about to get aired out right now.
Yeah, it looked like that's what it looked like. I was out to play right now, and LSU better get it together. We see, but now LSU both teams have been struggling in the play in the tournament, but Iowa has something to prove because they lost him last year. You know what I'm saying? I still don't think nobody's better than South Carolina, but South Carolina's been struggling too. They've been struggling too. So does anybody have any comments about this? I want to hear from Dana because Dana made a comment in the inbox today about girls basketball. Dana, what you anything you want to talk about?
I just want to talk about, man. I hate to say it, but Kel, you was right. I was wrong. I've been more intrigued with the women's basketball than I have with the men. With the parties being put out, I just say they should. I think you got Gigi, Clark. You have a lot of people. They're big. I scored their starters in the second half, almost. The bench I think Taylor did a great job. I think Clark winning. So she can be the big three.
Oh, shit, that ain't happening.
But hey, don't doubt these two, man. You can find something. But $5 million is worth more than that 250,000 you get in the WNBA.
Dana, let me say this to you.
But I am excited about the other game, and I hope they start wins. So I need to pick up for a puppy for the big three. Okay.
Dana, Caitlin Clark's good, but she ain't that good. I'm telling you right now. The big three, you playing with older guys that get physical with you. Only thing she could probably do is throw the ball in, and she would never see the ball after that. That's about all she could do. She wouldn't even get she wouldn't get a shot off.
They gonna get physical.
Man, look, yo, it's about money right now. You know, when you move to the next level, it's about money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Rich.
If I'm Caitlin Clark, I'm taking the money.
Right.
She's not going to get that $5 million in the WNBA.
But you know what though? She's probably if you look at her NIL deal, she probably got that much already from NIL. So anything else is a plus. Yeah, and then she's gonna do commercials as well. You said $3 million?
By the other deal. Yeah.
So she made $3 million, and then she gonna have other advertisements. But see, this is where we have to look at it, and this is why I said to you guys, about Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Caitlin Clark, and Reese. Yeah. If they can advertise that in the WNBA, people's gonna want to come see that because we haven't seen a rival like that in a long time in basketball. We haven't seen a rivalry like that a long time in any sport, where two guys are battling each other during the prime of their life to win the NBA title. Even in football, we haven't seen that. Baseball, we really haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying? But we've seen it more in basketball than we've seen anything. If it weren't for Magic and Bird, the NBA probably wouldn't be what the NBA is now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that the money part of it, the WNBA, the NBA, and WNBA is going to have to start paying these ladies more money than what they're paying them right now. I think the overseas thing might be a little. They might be a little cautious about going overseas. If they have a league in Europe or they have a league like in Paris or somewhere, I think they go there. I don't think they go to the Middle East no more. They definitely, and I would even say they might go to Japan. But I don't think they're going anywhere else, like anywhere in the Russia area. That area is they're not going to go. They're not going to be in the same situation. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what she had on her, didn't result in her being in jail that long, because somebody else had the same amount they had over there before, and the only thing they did was gave them probation. You know what I'm saying? So they were just trying to make a stance on the United States of getting what they wanted to get back. And they got something back for her, but at the same token, we don't want to put our ladies in that situation again. So I think that if they make the WNBA competitive, then we're going to be okay. That's the whole thing. Now, I'm going to say this to you guys, and I want to see if you agree with me. I don't agree with when the time frame that they play, because in June and July, who wants to watch basketball? It's nice outside. People want to be outside. You know what I'm saying? They want to wash their cars, wax their car. They want to ride the motorcycle. They want to you on vacation. You know what I'm saying? So if it's not a game you really, really want to watch, are you going to watch the WNBA? Probably not. So this is where I go back, and I was preaching. I was like, you know, if you want the NBA to be better, shorten the season so the games matter more. And what you do is you put the WNBA. Now, WNBA they would have to compete with the World Series. They have to compete with a couple first weeks of football. But the thing about it is they're indoors now, so it's not a problem with you going indoors, because the weather's going to change eventually. So if they can start their season in September and end it in November, then they're fine. And then the NBA starts from November to June. They cut some games off. You know what I'm saying? And I know that we're talking about money here, but if you're trying to make this thing be better, then maybe you need to move it out of that area. Because you think about it, guys, you got NASCAR, you got golf, then you got the UFL playing right now that we're playing during that time. And then on top of that, you got the Olympics is coming this year. So it's gonna be hard, to watch the WNBA play, because of the time frame that they're gonna have it in. Anybody agree with me, disagree with me? Anybody got another solution to how the WNBA can better itself as far as advertising? Could they move this?
If he was what you want, baseball, very hot. And then you have 40 everything. But I think you're getting, sports too. I try to make our football as well.
Okay. Anybody else got a comment on that?
I got a comment on the difference.
Go ahead.
Your first part of your subject, though.
Say that again, Curry.
And I know you kind of jumped from the women's college to the pros, but we're talking about that the women's being so much better than the men's basketball college. And you're gonna have to give me something else other than just that they switch around in the men's, and that's why it's much better. I don't buy that because the men's best. But let me say this.
Go ahead.
But as far as women's basketball, I don't know none of them players. I wouldn't even know who Angel Reese is if there wasn't so much controversy surrounding that young lady. Every time I hear something about Angel Reese, it's controversy. I don't hear that she goes out and scores 30, or she's doing so much on the court. It's so much outside the time clock that she's recognized for.
Well, I'm gonna say this about Angel Reese. I think she created a lot of negativity at the beginning of the year because when you get an NIL deal and you're making more than the coach, what's going to happen? She was a little bit she was ineligible at some point in time during the season because I think she probably was thinking about, you know what, maybe I don't want to play this game no more. Man, I don't want to play it at this level no more. I want to go to the next level and play it. You know what I'm saying? And I guess they kind of talk to understand and playing. But that's the problem with the NIL when it comes to certain players. It may be male or female that they're making so much money that they don't care about anything else. You know, and that was one of the problems that she was having at the beginning of the year. But again, Curry, I'm gonna say this to you. These young people now, they have social media so they can speak out on a lot of things that we probably wouldn't have spoke out when we was their age because we was taught to be you when I'm talking to you, then we talk. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not talking to you, sit in the corner and you play with your friends and you don't say nothing else.
Not heard.
Exactly. So that's how we were brought up. Now they're saying, look, I'm gonna say what I gotta say, regardless if you like what I gotta say, and I'll deal with the consequences after I say them. So this is the society that we're living in right now. This is what social media has done for these people. They gave them a broader brush to be able to say what they want to say and be heard by millions and millions of people. Now, Curry, now when it comes back to the game of basketball, the reason why I love girls basketball so much is because it's so pure. You know what I'm saying? They do everything well, right? And with the boys is they always want to showboat when they don't have to showboat. And there's nothing wrong with showboating at all, but just play the game. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the girls play,
Kevin. And you just don't like men's basketball.
Oh no, I love men's basketball, but the problem I have with men's basketball,
I can't see where it's better than men. You got to give me something better than they just showboat, and you got to give me something like attendance.
I'm gonna say this to you, okay? Coaching girls compared to coaching boys, right? The biggest thing I see differently is that girls are open to listen and open to learn. When you're coaching boys, no matter what level you coach them, they think they know more than you do as a coach, right? And if they did, then they would be coaching instead of playing. That's the way I look at it. Because guys, they're always even I watched 7th, 8th graders, and the only thing they want to do is shoot 3-point shots. They can't shoot worth a lick. They can't even make a layup, but they want to shoot a 3. In the warm-up line, that's all they're doing, shooting 3s. That's all they're doing.
That's part of the game, though.
Right. It is part of the game, but but the thing about it is that if it's part of the game, then you should know if you can make them or you should know if you can make them or not. That's not what a 7th, 8th grader should be concentrating on, especially if you can't make them. You should be if you can shoot. If you can shoot
an example here.
Go ahead.
And I don't want to take up what you
No, go ahead.
But
go ahead.
I would venture to say that Mo, being an NC State fan, he probably can tell you the start 5 of the men's team. I bet he probably can tell you 3 players on the starting lineup for the women on State.
Mo, do you know any girls on State?
We do not. He's right.
He's right.
I told y'all I don't watch. I don't watch women's college basketball. All I know is Angel Reese. I know Caitlin Clark. I know Paige Beckett. I know Juju. I know all 7 players that start for the men's. But they're not start, but play for NC State.
All the layers of ESPN.
But
Yeah, and his team is in the Final Four.
but this is my whole thing. I'm a UConn fan. I can't name all the girls in the UConn team either. But I'm a fan of theirs. You know what I'm saying? I do watch them every now and then. But I don't watch. And I guess because I coach girls basketball. And I think my basketball IQ is a little bit better than the average person. And you let me finish. So you let me finish what I'm saying. So you got 7th, 8th graders that's out there in the layup line shooting threes instead of shooting shots they can make, right? But if I go and tell them I need you to give your big man a bounce pass on the right side by his hip, and they tell me, what are you talking about? I'm like, what you mean what am I talking about? I need you to give him a bounce pass. He catches it on his right hip, right? Because he's right-handed, so that gives him an opportunity to turn and look and face the other player. And they're like, I still don't know what you're talking about. That's the problem I have, because their basketball IQ is not where it needs to be as 7th, 8th graders. And it's even, I can go and say it in high school. I can go as far as saying it in college, because what happens is, if you listen to the lot of GMs, they say the problem with the players that come to the NBA right now, they're not fundamentally sound. They don't have basketball IQ. So now you got to teach them how to be fundamentally sound and how to have basketball IQ. You can shoot the lights out of a ball, but if you don't have basketball IQ, if you can't run a simple play, as a point guard in the NBA, you should be extension of the coach. If you can't, you should be able to run a play, a side out bounce underneath the basket play without even looking at your coach. Rondo is one of the best basketball players, one of the best point guards I've seen play in the NBA. Chris Paul is one of them, because they could coach and play at the same time because they have basketball IQ. You don't find it a lot in men's basketball because they want to do everything else but do the basic things. This is why I think this is why they would never change. They would never allow from high school kids to go to the pros, because it's a project for them. And by the time they learn how to play the basketball the right way, they end up going to another team. So you put all this time and effort into a guy to come out of high school to play basketball, and then he ends up leaving and going to another NBA team. Now, and this is stuff that I'm reading from the GMs. This is stuff I'm reading from the coaches in the NBA. And this is the problem they're having. That's why they have that G League, because they say, okay, go to the G League, and then you can understand how to play the game of basketball. You had the kid from Houston, Jalen Green, who came from the G League that got drafted, I think, 2nd or 3rd last year or something like that, or year before last. The kids, he tells people, if it weren't for the G League, I wouldn't be in the NBA, because it taught me how to play the game of basketball, how to think the game through, how to see the game differently. Because in college, you're looking at one and done guys, right? And when they're one and done, they get to the NBA. If they're not superstars, then they're gonna struggle. The kid that played Scoot Henderson, whoever is out there in Portland, right? He talked a good game about how good he's gonna be this year, and he's struggling because the NBA is a different form of how you play basketball compared to college. College, you can get away with it, because if you look at North Carolina, you look at your team, North Carolina, they maybe can go 9 deep. After that, some of them guys will walk on, right? All of them don't have scholarships, but if they was good enough to play, they would be playing right now. So they're missing something. They're missing something not to be on the floor. And a lot of times, you listen to the GMs talk and you listen to the older talk, the thing they're missing is the basketball IQ and understanding how to play the game of basketball. And basketball is kind of like, I think, it's man's sport, but it's at a high pace. And if you listen to Magic Johnson tells you, I see the play before the play happens, right? You don't see too many guys like that. Like getting back to Chris Paul and Rondo, those guys gonna be great coaches in the NBA once they get a job. They will probably be coaches within less than 4 years of being assistant coach somewhere. Sam Cassell, point guard or two guard. You want to say two guard, point guard, whatever. He's gonna be a good coach. You know, if you look around the NBA, most coaches that you have are point guard coaches, right? Because they understand the game of basketball. Because they know how to get the ball to certain players. And again, in college, you have a lot of one and dones. And even though you have the G League, you still have players that say, I'm gonna go to the league, and it's like, nah, you're not ready yet. You need to stay in college. You know what I'm saying? You have to stay. Like the one kid that played for Kentucky before they had that the interview process for players. He left Kentucky, and it's like, yo, you're not even gonna make it. You won't even make it in the second round. So he goes back to Kentucky. Calipari says, "I didn't give you scholarship to somebody else. You gotta go somewhere else and play." You know what I'm saying? So that right there, I'm not knocking boys basketball, but what I'm saying is that when you leave college and go to the pros, if you can't translate from pros to college, from college to pros, then you're gonna struggle. And what I'm saying with girls basketball, they think it through more to me than the boys do. You know, they're not gonna make the hot dog pass. They're not gonna put it behind their back unless they absolutely have to do it. If a defender comes in there, take it through the legs or behind the back, they will absolutely have to do that. With guys, we do a lot of hot dogging, and I don't have a problem with that. I just like the purity of the game. They played the game at the purest stage for me as a person who loves basketball. I don't have a problem watching boys basketball. I watch boys basketball. You know what I'm saying? Even when UCLA was doing good, I really wasn't watching them. The last, go ahead, Mo.
I just have a
Go ahead, Mo.
question.
I just have a question.
How come you always say women's basketball,
Women's basketball,
but then you say boys?
then you say boys.
Why aren't we men?
Why are we men?
Huh?
You say women's.
You
You
say
say women's
women.
basketball.
You say women's basketball.
Then you say, but
Then
you
you say,
don't like
but
watching the
you
boys.
don't like watching the boys.
Well, I mean, because it's just a word that I use, but at the same time, but let me finish though. It's the same. It's the word I choose to say, but when it goes to boys basketball, again, the reason why I can't say that they're men is because they haven't reached to that they haven't got to the NBA. Now, if you talk about the G League, they're men, but high school and college, they're boys to me. They're boys.
So
They trying to get that
aren't they
next.
girls then instead of women?
girls then instead of women?
Well, tomato.
It's not though. It's not
Not
though.
though. It's not.
I'm
though.
saying if we're gonna be
I'm saying,
in
if we're
a society where we treat
in a
everybody
society
equally,
where we treat
we gotta
everybody
say
equally,
men and women,
we
or we
gotta
gotta
say
say
men and
boys and
women,
girls.
or we gotta say boys and girls.
Because what you're trying to
Well,
say
Because
is
what you're
that
trying to
women
say is
mature
that
faster,
women
and that's
mature
why you like their
faster,
game
and that's why you
better
like their
than
game
you like
better
boys,
than
because
you like
boys are
boys,
not men.
because boys are not men.
no, I'm not saying they mature faster. They think better.
You calling us stupid?
Women think better on the basketball court.
No, you said that, Jeremy.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree. Evan, if that's true what you're saying, then the women should be able to beat the men.
No, because they physically can't. Women can't physically beat men in basketball. They can't. They can't.
Well, I've seen it.
No.
I've seen it on some rec courts.
On some rec courts.
I was a man that lost.
I was the man that lost.
Yeah, I coach a young lady that played with boys all her life, right?
Now she a lady.
And she leads
Now
her.
she a lady. She had a girl. She a lady.
Yeah, the girl, she a lady.
And
You
I
use
seen
these
her
words.
play. I seen her play basketball with boys, right? And she's a girl, right? But she leads our high school in scoring. Now, did some things have to happen for her?
Andrew Reese is hurt.
What happened was
Andrew Reese is hurt.
one things happened for her was that one of our forwards had tore ACL in the second game of the season. She's a freshman. She gets in the game and she starts for all 4 years. She could shoot. Only problem was her free throws because she would never take her time shooting her free throws. Okay. But she could shoot the 3, she could shoot the 2, and she could rebound. And 90% of what she did was from hustle, not from basketball IQ, but from hustle. That's how she got to over 2,000 points. We're in the quarterfinals of the states, right? She got hurt. We were up 6. She gets hurt. She comes back in. She got to shoot 2 free throws. I looked at the coach and turned my head. I said, she's not gonna make them because she never took her time to shoot free throws like we would try to teach her at practice, and she missed both of them. We lose by 2 points, right? But she came back and said, you know what, Coach Dixie said, you're right about my free throws. I said they're called free for a reason. You got 10 seconds. Take your time. You know what I'm saying? But she had a hell of a career. You know what I'm saying? To be the leading scorer in boys and girls basketball at my high school, that says something for her. Some things had to break her way to be where she's at now. From the boys' side, I don't really get a chance to see the boys play that much because I'm coaching girls. But there's a couple girls on my basketball team right now that I think there's maybe 1 or 2 that could probably break her record scoring wise, right? But the problem with them is because they play AAU basketball, only thing they know is offense. So we got to teach them how to play some defense. We got to teach them how to play defense. And to me, defense is nothing but effort on both sides for the boys and the girls. It's effort. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have Curry. I don't have nothing against the boys basketball. I love to see them do high fly dunks and all that good stuff right there. But the problem is when it gets to the next level, when it gets to the next level, to where they go into the pros, is where the GMs, general managers, and the coach are saying, "Okay, we're going to draft him, but he's going to be a project because I got to teach him how to do certain things that he should already know how to do."
Yeah, I'm not saying that you hate on Vince basketball. I was just trying to get you to explain to me how you think that women's basketball is so much better or more exciting than the men's basketball. That's
I don't think it's more. I don't think it's more exciting than men's basketball,
right.
but I think the way they play the game, right, is more exciting to me. Because in boys basketball, you watch them take plays off. I really don't see that in girls basketball. I really don't. So, before we move on, we got Betty on the line. Betty got an announcement to make. I'm gonna let her do her announcement. So if she wants to stick and stay, she can. If not, we can move on. Go ahead, Betty.
Oh, hi. This is Betty. I've been part of this group forever. I thought I would do my own show about if you manage you will be compassionate towards humanity. And we'll be starting like the time at the beginning of NBA playoffs. The 21st, I will be co-hosting. And we will the single family everything. And we will be on YouTube.
Okay, she could sound a little muffled, so let me do this. Oh. Okay.
Right now.
Yo, I'm 38, 34. And Curry, let me say this to you.
Yeah.
Mo wanted to watch this game so much. He's like, yo, do we have to do the show tonight? And I said, yeah, we're gonna do the show tonight. We just have to multitask. You know what I'm
I just
saying?
said
You get
what
the ultimate.
time. I said what time. I didn't say we didn't do the show. I just said what time we doing it because it's starting at the same time as the game.
I said, starting. He said, but the game gonna be on. I said,
You
well,
know
we
the
can move it to
Celtics on
Tuesday night.
too.
Something's on too.
Yeah, they playing Charlotte. I ain't worried about that game. Um, um. So moving on. So we got LSU in Iowa. Then we have who's the other team? We got
USC and UConn.
USC and UConn,
Play USC.
and then we have South Carolina plays. Who does South Carolina play? I had the list up, but I'm
North Carolina State.
North Carolina State.
North Carolina State gonna blow out swinging.
Yeah, so we got South Carolina against NC State.
I just met those two.
We got USC against Connecticut, right? USC has a girl out there that can ball a little bit. So we're gonna see how that all turns out. So you know, it's gonna be a good tournament, and this is the first time that we've had two teams, if I'm not mistaken, NC State and UConn, or could possibly be in the Final Four with the boys and the girls. So that just tells you something there, how good those programs are, how consistent they are. One thing about UConn is that I don't think they have any seniors on the team right now. So they're gonna be a barn burner next year. They're gonna be back in the runnings again. Where we at here? So one more thing about basketball. So I just read an article that NC State girls were playing and the 3-point line was 9 inches shorter than it was on the other end of the court. How do you make that mistake? How do you make that mistake?
I think I can explain about that.
Go ahead, Matthew.
So for both men's and women's basketball, there's a company out of Wisconsin, outside of Marquette area. And what they do is every year after the tournament is done, they start making the wood for that next tournament for that next year, which takes them from April until January to get all that wood done for all the rounds for both in the men's and the women. And from January until March, they have to get the paint done. So somewhere along that line, they probably got a measurement or two messed up.
Okay. So do we think they should play that game over, Mo?
No, both teams agreed to play it that way. Now, if they'd have caught it after the game started, I mean, I get it. Beforehand, both teams agreed. They actually shot worse with the shorter line than the longer line.
Yeah, that's great. That's and you know that's probably not the first time that's happened. It's the first time they got caught. They got caught that way. So I mean it happens. It happens. So we know that we're gonna jump all over today. We know that Mo he's in heaven right now. He has 2 quarterbacks, and Curry says, since you have 2 quarterbacks, you really don't have one. But Dana wanted to talk about the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh. And I was reading up on it, and from what Tom is saying is that it's what's his name? Russell Wilson's job to lose. He said the proof is in the pudding. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to the Pro Bowl. He's a Pro Bowl guy, so he's going to be the starter. But again, we were talking about if Justin Fields will get some playing time. So Dana, what is your question that you want to talk about the quarterback situation in the NFL that we haven't really touched on before when it comes to the Steelers?
I just want to know, like, you kind of fuck up on it. Like, it's rookie job to lose. What if people outplays him? Like, one of the people that stuff. Yeah, they said whether it be Russell or they said kick it out or Russell by them.
So,
Let's then back up, back up.
so your question is if Justin outplays him during the preseason, what's going to happen going forward? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Mo, you want to answer that?
Because I think that's what's going to happen.
Hey, go ahead, Mo.
First of all, if he's outplaying him in the preseason, that means he's playing against lesser competition. We've already seen that all throughout the season last year. All three of our quarterbacks played well. Mr. Trubisky actually played probably worse than Mason Rudolph because Mr. Trubisky stayed with Mason State 3, which turned out to be a bad situation, but we still made the playoff. We didn't win a playoff game though. Even though Mitch Trubisky was the worst quarterback of the three. And if Mason Rudolph would have played, we might have a better playoff team. But what I say that to say that when Tomlin says something, he ain't changing it. But I do think they will try and put some plays in for Justin Fields to make sure that he's still in game, and to also give the other teams something to think about to prepare for two quarterbacks instead of one. It just makes sense. But long term, now that we traded for Justin Fields, most Steelers fans want Justin Fields to be the quarterback. Since he's 10 years younger, he definitely has the athletic ability. I'd rather him sit this year though behind Russ and get like that Steve Young year behind than Joe Montana. That's what I think about because they had two quarterbacks.
So let me ask you a question real quick. If anybody else has a question, they can bring it in.
I disagree.
Go ahead, Rich. Go ahead, Rich. I'm gonna let you go.
All right, just real quick. We didn't know we had two quarterbacks. Like, we got Steve Young from Tampa Bay, and he hadn't really performed down there. So we don't know what he was doing. And so we didn't realize he had two quarterbacks until Steve Young was a couple years in, and then all right, Seifert, what's his name? Bill Walsh retired, and Seifert stepped in. That was Seifert's quarterback. But we didn't know in the beginning. We just knew that he had a skill set that we liked. We didn't know what he could do because in Tampa Bay he was dying down there. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So Mo, the issue I see with the Steelers is that it's going to cost y'all some money.
Bring both back next year. Either one of them.
But I don't know if you're going to spend the money on Russell. Do you believe Russell is a bridge that's going to carry Justin Fields over, or do you think he's there
for 1 year?
Okay, so we ain't got to worry about his money. We got to worry about Justin Fields' money. So now, if Justin Fields doesn't get a chance to play, and the market is between $50 and $60 million, or do you think Pittsburgh's willing to pay him that type of money?
He won't get that because he won't start this year. He'll probably get somewhere between like 10 to 15. Because there'll be a backup quarterback.
Wait a minute now. He's going to be a free agent next year, right?
Yeah. Who's going to pay him starting money if he didn't pay a whole year?
But my question is, he's going to be a free agent, right?
Yes, but who's going to pay him if he doesn't pay a whole year?
You're not paying 50, 60 million to a backup.
No, what I'm saying is that Pittsburgh was his option to go there. Okay, that the team said we're going to send you somewhere where we think that you can fit in. But there's a bunch of other teams that actually wanted him, right, and had a better package for him. But he said, I want to go to Pittsburgh. So that's how he ended up going to Pittsburgh. So people think that Pittsburgh got over on the trade When in actuality, they didn't really get over in the trade because that's where he wanted to go. Chicago said, "Yo, we're gonna send you to Pittsburgh because you haven't badmouthed us, you haven't talked bad about us, and you know what direction we're gonna go in. We just feel like you're not the quarterback for us, and we're okay with that, and he's okay with that. So now he goes to Pittsburgh. Okay. But there's other teams out there that wanted to give him, they wanted to get Chicago a boatload of draft picks. It's like, nah, he don't want to go there. So my question is right here is that when he becomes a free agent and the money's still out there, there's going to be a team that might want to outprice him other than Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
It's not gonna be 50 million.
It's not gonna be 50 million.
No, I'm not.
I think it's gonna be 10 or 15.
I don't know how much it's going to be, but if there's a team that really wanted him, they're willing to pay. If they're willing to give up draft picks for him before, and now this time they ain't give him no draft picks, they got to give him money, and he gets a guaranteed up front, and the rest of it's on the back end. It's a win-win for them because now they actually still truly got who they wanted as their quarterback. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you don't think that Pittsburgh is going to extend him before he even hits the market?
This is the thing. If they could do it, okay, but how much do you extend? How much extension do you give him? That would be the smart thing to do is give him some money up front and say, okay, we're gonna give you a contract extension and give him a hefty amount of money up front to keep him there. You know, so he'll still be working on his rookie deal because if he gets a contract extension, that money doesn't fall into effect until after 2020. If they give him a contract extension after season, but they gotta do it before the season ends because he's a free agent. So if they do it during the season, that money doesn't affect them right now, it affects them in 2025. It's the salary part of it, not the bonus part of it, because that's guaranteed, that money guaranteed to him that's going to be the key there. And I think that maybe.
But you don't think.
Go ahead, Rich.
You don't think the Steelers would give him between 40 and 50?
I would say
you don't think he would take it?
I would say he would probably take that because that's where he wants to be. I don't think he's going to take no 10 to 15, Mo. I'm sorry. I don't think he's going to take 10 to 15.
I'm talking about if he doesn't play all season. If Russell plays all season, franchise Russ and trade Russ, give 10 to 15 to Justin. And let Justin play on like a 2-year deal.
Wait, you said franchise
Russ? Be like 80 million underneath the cap next year.
Y'all not going to franchise no Russell Wilson.
Why not? If he plays well all season.
Pittsburgh ain't going to spend that money on Russ. Pittsburgh ain't going to do that, Russ.
Did you not just hear what I said? We franchise him and then trade him.
They don't have to retire.
Well, if you franchise him and you trade him, you got to give him a first-round draft pick. Nobody's going to do that for Russ.
No, you don't have to give up a first-round draft pick.
Why don't you
franchise him? Then you trade him for whatever. Nobody's going to sign him off of our franchise. Off the franchise tag. They will trade him like a second or third round pick for him.
Okay, so it's Smitty. What's up, Smitty, man? Congratulations on your YouTube channel. I didn't get a chance to come on. Hopefully you can call in if you want to. 512-543-4662. Call in, give us your take on the Atlanta Falcons, what they did with that Kirk Cousins situation. Smitty says Steelers made the right choice. Fields is in an offense that fits his skill set. You can sign him for 3 years, an $80 million deal. That would be smart. That's a Kirk Cousins move. Right? So that would be smart for Pittsburgh to do that. But I don't think if you think Russ is the bridge, Mo, they wouldn't franchise him because now he's going to get upwards. He's going to get whatever, 60 million, whatever the going rate is, 60 between 50, 60 million
40 million,
1 year.
40 million.
It's going to be more than that because you got it all depends on what Dak does. If they sign Dak to a contract. right? Because he's next up actually,
And
and the
have that
quarterbacks.
next year.
Everybody else is paid. All the quarterbacks are taken care of, right?
Hey, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Hey, I honestly think that Tomlin is throwing up smoke screens. And the reason I say that is because you don't just come out and name your starter this time of the year, and neither one of these players have, neither one of them has played for your team ever. So you're going to automatically come out and name this guy your starter. I think he's throwing up smoke screens trying to get somebody to fight on that. And then they're going to trade Russell Wilson before the end of the draft.
And I don't think so. But I'm gonna tell you why. And Mo,
Mark it down.
And Mo, you can chime on this once I get done. Tomlin, remember now. Listen to me. At the end of the season, people wanted Tomlin fired. Pittsburgh Steelers don't fire their coaches, right? But they talked about a contract extension that has not been done yet. Okay, we're talking back in what's this? This is April now. We were talking at the end of the season when they lost in playoffs. They wanted Tomlin fired. They said, okay, we're talking contract. We won't give him a contract. We won't give him a new contract, another year, a 1 year contract, or whatever's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. The question is why not now? Why hasn't it happened? Now, we outside looking in, Tomlin may know something that we all don't know. But Pittsburgh has to put Tomlin in a good position right now to be able to win a division and to at least get to the AFC Championship game. Because if he doesn't get to that far and he loses the playoffs, he's going to be done. He's going to be done. Mo, would you agree with that?
No, he just has to win a playoff
No,
game
he
this
just
year.
has to win a playoff game this year.
He ain't got to be all the way to the AFC Championship.
Well, okay, so he has to win a playoff game, which he hasn't done recently. So he has to win a playoff game.
7 years.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So that's why I think that Russell, he made Russell the starting quarterback, because if you think about the offense that Pittsburgh runs, it's kind of similar to what Seattle does, right? Seattle was run heavy. When Russell first got there, you know what I'm saying? He had
Beast mode.
what's his name? I'm just here so I don't get fined type of guy.
Beast mode.
But we can ask Matthew, because he's a Seattle Seahawks fan. How close is Pittsburgh's offense to the offense that Russell Wilson ran in the years that they were competitive and they went to Super Bowls? Which are there some comparisons there or not?
There's definitely some comparisons in there. The only thing that I see Pittsburgh's got to do, and it's a very easy fix, and that's getting Russ getting used to giving the ball to the running backs. Other than that, as long as the O-line stays healthy, I can see Russ and the Steelers do very well and potentially go in deep into the playoffs.
Do you think that they're do you think Pittsburgh's better than Baltimore right now?
No.
Okay. Even though they got Derrick Henry, you think they're better than Baltimore?
Yep, I still think that, because if you look at Pittsburgh, what they've done, not just on their offense, but if you look at their defense, with the signing of Patrick Queen, who was on Baltimore's defense,
that was huge.
If you look at
And the
Pittsburgh's
loss of
defense
Clowney.
now,
I want to compare Seattle offense to Pittsburgh's offense for the simple reason Pittsburgh's got a brand new offensive coordinator, and we don't know that he's going to run that style of offense that they've been accustomed to running. He may come in, he wants to do a wide open passing attack.
No.
I still think he's going to use
Don't even try that. You can stop that right now. We hired him to run the ball. That's what the owner wants. You can stop that right now.
Kerry,
be running behind everybody else.
Kerry, I gotta disagree with you, man. I gotta disagree with you. I think that if Pittsburgh goes back to running the football, like they did before. That gives them that gives them that's their personality. That's their personality is because of Ben is the reason why they went Eric Carriero for real. And I don't see Ben in neither quarterback they have right now. I think only thing that
in modern day has won a Super Bowl because of the running back.
no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that Russell gives them the closest thing to being a pocket quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Because if you look at the Super Bowls, look at all the teams that won Super Bowls, you never had a quarterback that led the team in rushing, or he was second in rushing or anything like that. You always had pocket pass quarterback so far. The only one that I can think of might be McNair, off the top of my head, that kind of could run the football. Other than him, I don't know them. I really don't know nobody else that made it to Super Bowl. You can say Patrick Mahomes, but still, I don't think who.
Cam.
Yeah, and you see he lost though. You see they lost.
So did McNair.
They lost.
That's what I'm saying.
They lost with that type of quarterback.
So did McNair.
You know what I'm saying? And so did McNair. You know what I'm saying? So those are the quarterbacks that they have not won a Super Bowl. And then if we can go back to Steve Young, he always was a threat to run the football. But man, he had Roger Craig back there, and who else he had back? He had wide receivers, he had tight ends. So he only ran when he actually had to run. You know, so that's what I'm saying. And then I think with Pittsburgh is they're trying to get back to that. So I think they have. I think they have a good chance now. The problem I see going forward, though, if Russell gets hurt, and you have Justin Fields as a quarterback, now you got to change some plays because he's more of a play option run type of guy for Pittsburgh, was bringing added pressure to the defense. That's why I still say that bringing him there was a smart move because now you got to prepare for two quarterbacks. And I think during the season, we're going to see both quarterbacks play in games. I'm just that's just my thought. Dana, did that kind of answer your question? Dana, you out there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That kind of question, but I do still say Baltimore needs the edge over Mario's offense. It's added weapon.
Yeah.
I just don't stop that. They don't have nothing. They don't have nothing in Pittsburgh to match that.
And I think Pittsburgh. I mean, with Baltimore, they definitely. I still think Baltimore wins the division. I think Pittsburgh will be really, really close to them. I think Pittsburgh jump frogs the Browns and Cincinnati. But I see maybe one team from that division making the playoffs. I just see one. I don't see two, maybe two, but I see a couple other teams that could make the playoffs in that conference over Cleveland. I think the possibility you could have two. And the only reason I say two is because I think Baltimore has got a point to prove that they can win, and get past, and they can win a playoff game. And I think Pittsburgh has made enough moves to bring in some added players. And they always draft well as well. That Patrick Queen thing that came out of nowhere. That was like that. I was like, wow, that made you turn your head for real. So I think Pittsburgh should be really good this year. They Baltimore are like in the top 5 when it comes to strength of schedule. So one of them is not going to make it. Cleveland made some moves too as well. Their question mark to me is going to be the quarterback situation. How healthy Deshaun Watson is going to be. I think defensively they're still going to be good. But the quarterback situation is the one I have questions about going forward. As far I know, Betty was telling you guys about a show, but it kind of got muffled. So I'm just going to tell you what she said. Her show will be starting April 21st. It's going to be from 8 to 9:30. p.m. Her co-host will be Steve Madison. The name of her show is going to be Ultimate Sports Show. It's going to be more of NBA, WNBA driven. With her and her show. If you guys don't know anything about Betty, Betty was one of the first females that had a show with Talk to Me Sports Radio when we were with them, and then we moved. Betty came back over, but Betty has been dealing with some health situations, and she's gotten better. So she feels she wants to put her hat back in the ring to do another show. So on Sunday nights from 8:30 to 9, should be a good show. I think me and her might want to talk about the time frame because during football season, 8:39, they're gonna be watching football. Everybody's gonna be watching football, so we might want to switch that time frame up. But she's gonna start April 21st doing her thing. Very interesting show. She has a lot of people come on interviews. She has a lot of connections with the WNBA as well. So I look forward to having her back and doing a show with her as well. Moving on. The NFL draft is coming up, and I didn't watch the combines, but I went and watched some film. Is anybody sold on J.J. McCarthy being the third best or fourth best quarterback coming out of college right now?
No. Nope.
The second.
And the second.
Wait, what?
They got him in the second now. So they got him behind Williams, and then they got him behind Williams, and then they got dude from LSU being third.
They're saying the Commanders to take him second.
Wow. And I don't know. I mean, the guy he lost one game in college or 2 games in college. I mean, he won national championship. He got what it takes. You know what I'm saying? And first thing people gonna think of, he could be the next Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
That's their mind thoughts right now. That's what they're thinking, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm a reporter, first thing I'm gonna ask the coach for the San Diego Chargers, if you could draft J.J. McCarthy with your draft pick, would you do it? If he said yeah, then I would think about getting him, right?
He would never say that.
No, I'm just saying. If he were to say that's the only way.
He said what he could say. He already said. Workout he's ever seen from a quarterback.
And I get that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, as a reporter, you ain't got to report everything. But I'm gonna go to him. I was like, yo, if you could draft him, would you draft him? If he said yes, and he's been a coach in the pros before, so I kind of believe what he's saying. And he's been a productive coach in the pros, so I'm gonna believe what he says. So then maybe I'll go out and get J.J. McCarthy. But my thing is with Penix, I'm sitting here looking at the draft, and they're saying that the Giants are the one team that's going to move up because they're saying that Jones won't be ready this year to start the season off, right? So they got all these scenarios I got here about the Giants moving up to number 3 and get in front of the Patriots. They do have one here. I think it's one. Where's the one that I thought I saw one with the with the Commanders. Oh, where's that? I can't find it now. I thought I printed it off. Oh, yeah, they got one. They got one with the Cardinals, and they got one with the Chargers where they move up, to draft a quarterback. So that's the wild card right now, from what I'm hearing about moving up to get a quarterback. So if you're the Giants and you just gave the quarterback all this money and you draft another quarterback, what do you do with Daniel Jones? Where do you send Daniel Jones? How do you fix how does an organization explain it to the fans? This is what we want to do. Let me see. Rich, can you give me a scenario that this will make sense for the Giants to do this?
Next to the Raiders, the Giants are probably the next worst organization in football. So, agreed. It's not. It's not even mind-boggling why they would go this route, but because they're just a bad organization. They haven't been really any good at anything really since Phil Sims and those guys. So Eli was there. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't.
Okay. Does anybody?
It doesn't make sense.
Does anybody else out here, Curry, Mo, think that would be a good look for the Giants after then they paid Jones all this money, right? And I don't even know who the backup. No, your boy's the backup. Matthew, right?
Yeah, Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito. So if they're looking to draft a quarterback, then they don't have too much
They have another
confidence in DeVito. Well, DeVito was the one that started that was making some noise, right?
No, they have somebody else. They signed somebody else.
DeVito, yeah.
No, they signed somebody else. Because I saw DeVito as like the third quarterback.
They go after DeVito.
Drew Lock.
Yeah, from Seattle.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Okay.
I don't see the Giants moving from that spot. I think they're gonna stay right there where they are. I think they're gonna pick them a wide receiver because they're not improving themselves by taking that quarterback. I think you have one of those other quarterbacks, Drake May or somebody like that.
So Curry, let me ask you a question. Who do you see? Somebody's gonna move. Somebody's moving up, right? If it's not the Giants, who do you think it is? And I got a team in mind. I got a team that I think will move up to get a player. But Kurt, who do you think could possibly be that team?
I can see the Raiders making a jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mo, who could you see? What team could you see moving up?
Raiders. They might. I think they're gonna try to get Penix.
Who's that?
But the Raiders. But you also could see Minnesota move up as well. They need a quarterback still.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought about Minnesota.
Minnesota could be a
I
team.
think the Raiders are trying to make some noise.
Minnesota. You said Minnesota. We said Minnesota Vikings.
No.
Anybody else see anybody else out there maybe moving up?
You know what? I could see Denver moving up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Denver. I don't think Denver would move up because I think they're fixing to go through a rebuild. They're trying to collect draft picks. I don't think they're trying to give away any.
Well, the thing about it is, if what they might do is, in just reading about the scenario with the Broncos, is they do want more draft picks because they want to fill some holes. So where they're drafting it right now. If they were to move out of that draft pick and move out of that draft pick and get some more draft picks, where Denver is sitting at 12, and they have him listed as going after a linebacker. But if they can get him back, they can get him further down and go and get some more draft picks. That's a possibility. But that's I think that. But Denver's name's been brought. Every team I talked about, Vikings, Raiders, Denver Broncos, have name been brought up. The only team I think, the team that I'm thinking, is the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Saints could be a team that will move up to get a quarterback. Because that the NFC South is open. They got the Falcons winning more games. So they could replace Tampa. The Saints were 9-8, surprisingly 9-8 last year. So do they take a step back and draft a quarterback? And if that do draft a quarterback, is that quarterback going to start, or is he going to sit back and relax for a couple of years? Another team that I can see moving up is the Rams. There's talk about they like Penix too. But the thing about Penix is they're saying that Penix could be a late first round or he could be an early second round pick. You know what I'm saying? So if Penix is still out there after all the other quarterbacks is going, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Rams jump up and get him. Because Stinson from Georgia, I think the dude has a drinking problem. They don't want to talk about it, but I think there were some issues there. And hopefully he got over that. But you look at him, you look at Stinson, you look at Penix, and Penix got a nice arm, strong arm. I'm gonna go with Penix over him any day of the week. So I think, but still, I'm hearing more Giants than anybody else that's making a move. Again, I don't know if that makes sense for them to move up because they just gave my man all that money. But you get a rookie quarterback, he can sit, and you got Drew Lock there. Drew Lock has been a bridge for so many teams going forward, that he can sit and wait till Jones get healthy, and then Drew Lock know that he's got to move on to the next place of business, and whoever they get as a quarterback gonna be the future for the Giants. But again, like Rich said, second worst ran organization in the NFL. It's just it's really hard to figure out. But everything I'm reading, if you guys go out there and look, it's the Giants, with the Patriots more so than anybody else. There was one scenario about the Cardinals, but I think the Cardinals are fixated on Marvin Harrison Jr.
Now there is a scenario though that the Giants can do.
Go ahead.
They could take Roma Dunze at 6, trade their second and third round pick for a mid first or a late first, and then get Penix right there.
Wow, that's a smart move. That would be a smart move for them. That'd be definitely be a smart move, for them to see if that would happen. So I mean, it's out there right now about the draft picks and who's willing to give up the house to get what they want to get. And I don't know if we're going to ever see this many quarterbacks go in the first round. If they do, we're talking about 5, 6 quarterbacks in the first round, maybe. Only one that I really don't have no faith in is Bo Nix, because he's only going to give you maybe 1 or 2 years. Because of his age, I wouldn't bet the farm on that dude at all. I'm sorry. It's simple as that. We got an hour and 33. Moving on to a little, let's stay with football for just a minute. So this is what I don't understand about football and how it's ran. You hire a coach and you say, yo, he's the best thing since sliced bread, and he's the reason why we are where we are. Okay. but you cut a player and don't tell them about it, and then you sign another player and don't tell them about it. As a head coach, how do you feel? How would you feel, Mo? If I came to you and I told you that's what I did, if I didn't tell you, how do you feel as a coach? Would you want to stick around?
Because you usurp my power.
Because you usurp my power.
Would anybody on this panel want to stick around? So I'm reading this article about the Green Bay Packers, and it says Matt LaFleur was caught off guard by the Packers cutting Aaron Jones and signing Josh Jacobs. Now, is Josh Jacobs better than Aaron Jones? From the outside looking in, yes, he is. Right? We would have to say.
I say he's younger.
But I love me some Aaron Jones. He run hard. Weather don't matter to him. Josh Jacobs was in Oakland. Then he moved to Las Vegas. Might have played in cold weather maybe once or twice a season. He's going to Green Bay. That's to me, that's a factor in going to Green Bay. But as a head coach, I just don't understand how that makes you feel. And then you got to go to the media and you got to talk about the moves that your team made, and you ain't know nothing about the moves. So, okay, let me read up on Josh Jacobs and let you know what I feel about him. Let me go look at some film so I can tell you how I feel about him. But the Green Bay Packers did it without telling it. So you can almost look back and say that Green Bay Packers are going to draft who they want to draft. The organization is going to draft who they want to draft. Like Bill Parcells, you're going to buy the groceries and you're going to be cook them up. And when I cook them up, you're going to be mad at me because it's too salty, not salty enough. I didn't put enough water in it, but this is what you gave me to work with. But you didn't ask me about it, but this is what you gave me to work with. So I'm a little confused with that right there in that scenario. To me, as a coach, I don't feel comfortable. I really don't feel comfortable with organizations like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up maybe wanting to leave or go somewhere else. Any comments on that right there, ladies and gentlemen, about that situation?
They don't respect it.
Say that again, Dana.
I said they don't respect the Packers coach.
But he did it. I mean,
if I'm the coach, you don't value my decision. You don't say you know.
And
guy that we've been born with. Talking about the new guy.
And the thing about it is, if you guys think about it, I mean, he had Aaron Rodgers, and then he had Love, and Love was tearing things down at the beginning of the season, and he came back and looked absolutely wonderful. So Matt LaFleur do you give credit for Matt LaFleur to be that coach? Is he really that type of coach that, he's that dude? Or do you sit back and say, well, the organization did this, organization did that, and so we put you in the right situation to be the head coach for the team? It needs to be some kind of conversation with the head coach and the head coach and the GM about who you're going to draft, and he should have a feel on who he's going to get. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you guys, I think it happens more often than not. We just don't hear about it. But he was like, they did it. They was going to do an interview with him. He's like, well, about this guy and that guy. And he's like, huh? What? He was kind of caught off guard. Kind of caught off guard with that situation. So, and that's the hard thing about it, man. Is
yeah, with that with a lot of coaches, and I think that's the reason why coaches want more power than what they have. Even if they don't get to call all the shots or even select the players, you hear that a minute coach, I want control of the 53-man roster. That's what I want. So if he's got control of the 53-man roster, then yeah, he can say what's going on with that roster. But a lot of coaches don't have that power.
Do you think that coaches deserve that power, though?
I mean, I don't know if deserving is the word, but I think communication should be open there.
Exactly.
Or if you're going to do that, I think you're spot on with what you said. I think the coach should know what's happening, but as far as him having the power or deserving the power, I won't go that far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just give me a heads up. I would love to be in a war room with some of these teams to find out how much the coach makes the decisions on who comes, who they draft, and who they don't draft. And I go back to draft day, watching that movie with what's his name? Come on, help me out here, guys. The movie, draft day. What's the guy's name that started in that? Kevin Costner. How he how he screwed that up and came back and made it up, in a sense that he made all these crazy moves and still got the players he wanted. I wonder how close is that to real actuality in a war room for real. Because I think the coaches should always have a say so in who gets drafted and who doesn't get drafted, and and that's out of respect, because I think sometimes when you're coaching, if a guy's good, or if a guy's gonna be good, by just talking to him, what type of player you're gonna get, So I just think that for me as a Packer fan, I would have a problem with that going forward. NBA news, guys. The Minnesota Timberwolves will not be sold. The reason why they ain't gonna be sold is because apparently they couldn't come up with the money. But what I'm hearing is that Glenn Taylor changed his mind. He changed his mind because the Minnesota Timberwolves are tied for first place or somewhere there near off. They're 51-23. They're one game out of first place without Anthony Carl Thompson. And I think they got the face of the NBA and my man. So your boy A-Rod, Mo. I don't know what happened.
He said they missed payments. That's what they said. Yo, man, I was pulling away, dog.
Yeah, I know. It's 63-52. Well, I mean, it's in the third quarter, so they still got another quarter left to go. Ooh.
Yeah. You hang on with them.
It's all about rebounding at this point in time. You got to rebound. Got to rebound basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he had a change of heart too, for real, because now the team's winning, and I'm gonna tell you why. Also, the money that he's gonna get is not top dog money. You know what I'm saying? You look at the teams that just got sold. They were 3-4 billion, and he was going to get 1.5 billion for that team. And now they're winning, so it looked like they're gonna be winning for a while. So the ante up money, the money that's gonna make that team better and gonna drive that price up a little bit higher, is gonna be something else. I think you might see Kevin Garnett get back in the fold, or trying to buy that team from him again. But it's just weird how that all went down. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, you lose your backing, you lose the main person that was backing you for that team, and he gives you no explanation about. And I don't think A-Rod knew that the payment was missed until after the fact. So again, I think Glenn Taylor had cold feet, and that's why he probably didn't make that move. Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland Cavaliers. He might have played half the games this year. He's going to become a free agent. There's talk that he might go to New York. I know Lou's happy for that one.
I like it.
But they're saying that he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay in Cleveland, but the money gotta be significantly more than what New York's gonna give him. Looking at this season, Donovan, help me Mo with this one right here. Donovan has never missed this many games before in the NBA season.
Never.
And I'm just trying to figure out: is it bad knees? Is it bad back? Is it I'm gonna save myself? I mean he's back to playing now, but what is going on with him?
It's rocks, man.
Is who?
Rocks. He's playing in Cleveland. Cleveland rocks.
Cleveland rocks.
Gotta leave them rocks alone, man. No, seriously though, it's bad weather in Cleveland. He didn't want to go to Cleveland. He wanted to go to New York.
So, but that was my question: do you think that he's doing this so that he can save himself to go to New York?
Nah, I don't think he's that type of player. I think it's
So
just
you
bad
think
luck this year.
So you think that he stays in Cleveland? Well, he's from Louisville. I mean, it get kind of cold. Look, Cleveland from Louisville ain't that far.
I don't know nothing about how far Cleveland and Louisville are. He's definitely trying to go to Cleveland.
No, but exactly like I said, nobody vacations in Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think Donovan Mitchell. I think now the dark horse in the Donovan Mitchell situation, I hate to say this, might be the Lakers. Because they got cap room next year. They got to convince him to go to LA and be the man. And it's not like he wasn't the man in Utah. He had Rudy Gobert. He'll have AD there. Could anybody see that move being happening? Yeah, and if Donovan comes there, LeBron got another. He give him LeBron get maybe another
Knicks.
2 more years.
He wants to go to the Knicks.
They got the cap room.
But see, the Knicks got to trade players, right? So if the Knicks don't get what they want, then they can't move the way they want to move, right?
You mean if Cleveland doesn't get what they want?
No, Knicks, because the Knicks gotta make some trades because they their whole thing is trying to get rid of
Fournier.
Randall, right? That's their
No,
their whole thing.
they're not trying to get rid of him. They gotta pay. What's the guy? What's his name? The guy they just got from Toronto. I just was talking about him earlier today. OG Anunoby.
OG Anunoby, yes. So let's look at
that camera.
So New York Knicks, where are they located?
Doesn't Cleveland have Super Max rights on Donovan Mitchell?
I don't know if they had Supermax. Because I think in order to get Supermax, he had to play so many games. So New York right now, they're on the first apron, which you give them like $7 million. And they're a negative $28 million in cap space. So that's why they're trying to get rid of Randall. So the Lakers right now, looking at what are they at? They're already on the second apron, which is not good cap space wise, but they got a lot of guys for all the books next year. 2023, let's go 2024, 25 update. So yeah, they got a lot. Oh my God, they got a lot of stuff coming off the books. Wow, they got. Ooh, they none of restricted free agent is Max Christie. They got a bunch of two-way players on their team. Salary-wise, let me see what that team. Let's go team. NBA team.
But it was a title this year.
Cap total for 24, 25. Update.
Okay, let's.
So
Georgia, big three.
So the Lakers be looking at
30-day foot.
So Lakers be looking at it's gonna be kind of tough for them, but they gotta make some moves. But I think Miami is in play. Lakers are in play. I would not be surprised if San Antonio would be in play for him. But I don't know if he stays in Cleveland because again he got traded to Cleveland, and he might do the Kyrie. He might ghost him after the end of the season. Oh man, she just threw that away. He might ghost him at the end of the season, which won't be good for Cleveland because Cleveland not gonna get nothing back. So Mitchell is one of those players. I think that if you listen to what the Lakers saying they en route to have a big three out there. And the thing about it is, even if they get Mitchell out there, that should make them a 4th seed, maybe 5th seed at best. But Denver still is ruling. Oklahoma is getting better. All those teams out there getting better. So it's going to be really interesting to see how far Donovan can go with what he's trying to what he's trying to do. Going forward, he's the big question mark right now. I think Zion he's okay in New Orleans. That's not where he wants to be. He wants to be in New York as well. Dana, he stopped eating all them hamburgers and that shrimp fried rice and the gumbo and all that. He's, you know what I'm saying? He slimmed down. He slimmed down. United States Football League, UFL has started already, and I didn't even know they had games this weekend. Duke kicked 64-yard field goal. Didn't even know they started. Right. So I don't know. I don't know what team I like. I don't know. I don't know. You got Birmingham Stallions, Houston's Roughnecks, Memphis Showboats, Michigan Panthers, Arlington's Renegade, DC Defenders, San Antonio. What's that? Brohams? Brohams?
Bronze.
Is bronze? Is that how you pronounce bronze? What the hell is that?
We're old enough now.
What is it?
The Bombers.
Call them the Bras.
The Bras. What is that?
Yeah, Brahma Bull.
Oh, a bull. Oh, okay. Thank you. Hey, St. Louis Battlehawks. I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure out a team. I'll let y'all know who my team is next week. Once I figure out who I like and what I don't. Who I like and don't.
I'm a Birmingham Stallions fan. Just because my niece's boyfriend plays on that team.
The Stallions.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. I can
Evan
rock
Austin.
I can rock that.
Real quick. Sixers need Embiid to come back quickly to return to a dominant way. I don't know how dominant he's going to be coming back off an injury that he just had. In my personal opinion, I don't think, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Southern fan, but I don't see even with the added pieces that they got to the team, the reason why they're still playing the way they play is because Embiid's he's not dominant with the ball anymore. So if he comes back and he's dominant with the ball, you take the ball out of Riddick's hand. I mean, out of what's the dude they traded for from Pacers?
Oh shit.
Buddy Hield, take the ball, Buddy Hield's hands. And Embiid gets most of the touches. Now you're taking away a 3-point shot from him. So I don't know if that's going to still work. Me personally speaking, I'm be honest with you. If I'm the Sixers, I'm shutting him down. And I'm like, this year's a wash. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, they think they can come back and be dominant, and they can win an NBA title. I know Embiid is that good. I think Embiid's he's that good of a player, but I don't know if he's that great of a player to be able to come back. And a friend of mine, he's like, Kev, he's gonna be in shape. I said, yo, if he's not playing, I said, do you know how much practice goes on during the season? Very little. I said, he's not in basketball shape right now. He has to get back in basketball shape because it was his knee that was messed up. So I mean, he wasn't doing a lot of running. Now he could be sitting in a chair shooting. He could be shooting from the bench or wherever. He could be shooting the ball, you know, to keep his touch. But when you put it all together in 48 minutes, that takes a toll on your body when you're banging against somebody else. That's not good. And so I'm just saying, if I'm Philly, if I'm Embiid, I'm like, yo, man, look, I'm not. Shut me down this year. Come back. Got some money. We got some money. That's another team that could go after Donovan Mitchell. They got the money they can spend. Let's go back out. Let's get us another big three. Get Tobias Harris out of here because it's not working out for us, and move on from him. I think that could be a possibility. But if I'm Philly, I'm shut down. Last but not least, Dana. The NBA has heard my cry.
Uh-oh. International.
That's what's about to happen for the All-Star game. That's the thought process right now. It's having international against Americans. I don't know why I don't get paid for this. I don't know why they don't give me a piece of the pie. I don't want more. Just give me 2% so we can rock this radio station. So we can rock this thing.
They'll send it as a tax write-off.
Exactly. But the commissioner says the only thing he can do is try to make this thing more competitive, is make it competitive. And you know how I feel about them international guys, man. I think they can ball out. Curry, they know basketball IQ. They know basketball IQ. They know it. And so I would love to see that happening. I would love it. In the NBA, I don't think I do say, Kate Dix came up with the idea. I came up with the idea a long time, about 8 years ago, and they still ain't never did it. But now they got to do something to make the game more exciting, because now only thing the NBA is becoming is nothing but a party place, a party city, for people to go out and hang out, whatever the case may be. And then next year, I think it's in another cold city, I think. They say it was. Oh my goodness. I know that I know it's cold where they're gonna have it at. But then they heard her cry. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that they heard her cry. So I think that maybe that might be our way in, or way out, whatever the case may be, for the NBA. Anybody? We got 2 minutes left to go before Mo had to put his son to bed. Anybody got anything else?
Yes, I don't hate Philly no more.
Do what?
I guess I don't hate Philly no more.
You got the job.
No, I'm just saying. I can't say I hate Philly no more.
Hey, so if anybody knows, Mo applied for a job up in Philly. So if he gets it, that means he got moved to Philly.
I ain't got to move. I can still move.
You gonna fly back and forth?
Just take the train. The Philly ain't that bad.
Man, you gonna take that train maybe 1 or 2 times, and you were like, man, the heck was this?
I had a friend who did it every day.
You
He drove every day.
You gotta move into Philly. You can move into New Jersey. You can move outside of Philly.
I gotta move in Jersey. I can go to Chester. Yeah, I gotta go that far. I can go Northern Maryland. It ain't Northern Maryland.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is,
I live
man.
above the I live
Um,
above the pole in Baltimore already. It ain't that bad.
It ain't that bad.
hey, so next week, guys, if you little homework for you. Let's do a mock draft. The top we can do the top 5, and then we can talk about the under over for the NBA. I mean for the NFL that they have. Which I kind of think that is kind of crazy. With some of the teams, and then by that time we'll have. Well, no, we already know who will be. Oh no, because this the Final Four is coming up, so it won't be until after Monday when the championship game will actually. The championship game will be no, it'll be
Game played on Monday.
Monday. So if the championship game is next Monday, then we won't do our show until maybe that Tuesday or maybe Friday. I don't know. We had to figure it out going down the deal. That's about it, guys. I got anything else? US, we can United Football League. We figure out who we like there. If you guys didn't play the bracket, Mo is actually winning the bracket, but Mo can't win because Mo's a host. We have 2 other people. One's Dawn Reeves. And then there's somebody else on there that is close to winning. So Mo in NC State. Well, I tell you what, man. I tell you what. I ain't mad
3
at
of the
you.
4, baby. It ain't just
Three of
NC
the
State.
four,
I got
baby. It
3 of
ain't
the
just
4
NC State.
teams.
I got 3 of the 4 teams.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, man. So anybody next week, next week, everybody come with some information about the football teams, what they've done, anything, update on the football teams, any potential, what you think. Again, we can do the draft, and then we'll do a mock draft from 1 through 5 or whatever the case may be, and then tell us who you think that tell me what player you think your team's going to draft and why you think he's going to draft, and then we can talk about that as well. We'll have the NBA season's almost over. I think they got 2 weeks left in the NBA. Roughly 10 games left going on, and what I'm seeing right now, in the NBA, Boston's up 116 to 100 against Charlotte. Memphis is 101 to 96 against Detroit. Indiana's 108 to 74 against Brooklyn. Portland is losing 84 to 87 to Orlando. Atlanta is 61-53. Phoenix is beating New Orleans. Oh my God, 72 to 52. We got to talk about the Phoenix Suns too, because they're the most upside down team in the NBA, and they're the ones fighting. They got the hardest record going forward now to make the playoffs. So we got to see if Houston can stay right behind them and see how far they go. I don't really have anything else. Look like I was running away with this right now. They're up by 10 with 6 minutes and 28 seconds left to go. If LSU don't play no defense, I was going to win this game. Other players are stepping up for them, which is good. That's what we wanted to see from the rest of the team in Iowa stepping up. Thank you guys for coming on the show again. This is April, man. We already almost next to June. We're getting close to June. Baseball's in. All the teams are doing well right now. So we'll see how that pans out. With that being said, guys, I appreciate you. Hey, Dana.
Yes, sir.
So let me know what you want to do so I can sit down before we do our show again and show you how to get on the website to be a face of the audience, like Matthew did.
Yes, sir.
Matthew got his Seattle Green headsets on, looking kind of fly. And if we can get Mo to change that background, we'd be fine, because football season over. It looked like he froze again.
He hating.
That dirty yellow. Everybody, man, I appreciate you guys coming on with me, hanging out with me. I think it's about it, guys. Let me go ahead and get to where I gotta go. Matthew, comment. First time on live. How you like it?
Oh, I love it. It's very nice.
It's very nice.
Nice and doing something new. And a heads up, Dana. Friday night I caught about 60 volleyballs total. And that courtside seat.
Hey, so was it girls you was watching, the boys?
I was watching the girls. And the crowd size was very impressive.
We're gonna have to talk about this offline. We're gonna talk about it offline. Oh, but yeah, volleyball. Oof. Okay. All right, guys. You guys be safe.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K. Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.